Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dire Bear. Welcome to Falskallan Nights. I am your host, the Bard with no name. Before we get into tonight's game, we're going to go through a couple announcements. I'm not doing it again because I like throwing it onto people. So, Steve!
We got so many clothes in that store. Some of them are sweats. Some of them will make you sweats.
Oh.
You can wear those. We also have sponsors. Sponsors. One of them is D&D Beyond. Without this, that couldn't happen. No, without that, this couldn't happen. We also have our band of bards that aren't bards. It's Monday morning, no, evening.
What is happening?
We're having a full degradation. This is what happens when you throw the announcements out at somebody without any prompts.
Yes, thank you to FX May Vary. They will vary.
They vary.
They do.
Broken.
Let's see. We got the clothings. You come visit us and I don't know, be weird on Discord with us.
Ooh, there's one.
Mm-hmm.
And
The music.
I mean, we had the music. We covered the music with FX May Vary. There are music.
D&D
Yeah.
Beyond.
D&D Beyond's been done.
We did that.
Okay. We already did the clothes.
It's a
Um,
P.
Oh yes, Patreon.
Yeah, Betrayan. Oh.
If you want to pay this money, do it.
Tuesday gave us shifted titles in the new year. Abomination Alley. Welcome to Abbey Shores. It's a New Year's Eve, 1924. The party is going to be ruined by you. No, by murder. Unless you did the murder. It's an urban fantasy based in the Roaring 20s using the BRP rules. Basic role playing. If you're not, part of like the abbreviation lingo, which I'm not. So thank you, Deca, for explaining what that is. Because I'm like,
Yes. Sorry, I didn't realize we were doing the shout outs to the other games at the top and bottom. I thought I was just at the bottom because I guess I'm crazy.
I don't know.
Sometimes we
I just
do
remembered
both. Sometimes we
Right.
do one and sometimes the other. I never know.
I don't know.
Some days.
Anyway, come say hi. Monday,
just
Tuesday,
work here.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
And Saturday if you pay us a lot.
All right. Well, thank you, Steve, for that. So, let's get into tonight's episode of Falskallan Nights. Last time on Falskallan Nights, These dipshits decided to go across a river. That's about it. No, they decided to cross the Velen Rapids, meeting through Alska. Through a lot of really good rolling and really good use of spells on their part, they were able to pass the rapids and a lot of the turmoils that would have caused through that. But landing on the other side of Port Dowlorn, realizing that the port that Yimmer had been a part of in the last season for a very brief moment was in a very rough shape, only to find that the adult dragon that was attacking is dead and with a very large hole where the stomach would be. That being said, the group further investigated and found a massacre of bodies inside the main hall. Unknown to what the cause was, other than it happened, Team Them spent the night, said goodbye to the ferrymen, and moved forward. Days of travel moving ahead, they found a almost dressed deer carcass. Spleen, being the ever so curious one, flew a little too close, ended up getting herself lassoed. It's being surprised by 3 goblins. That being said, we're going to get into combat, but since our cameraman's not here...
This is our goblin.
Yeah, exactly. So at this point, we're just gonna have to sit and wait for a second.
Nuh-uh.
Nah.
Our front door does
Uh-uh.
not like to shut. It's a pain.
What a hoe.
Yep.
And we're gonna get ourselves into the combat screen.
Oh no!
Oh, man.
Oh, those wild boar. Piglet?
Those are not on. It's there for window dressing. They do not exist there. That being said, is Speen back or no?
I'm back.
You back? Okay, get yourself on camera. Let's go.
I'm here.
Hell yeah. So, that being said, Spleen, first round of combat because you'd been surprised.
I've been surprised.
You got pulled down and you be stunned. So, at that point, you see three goblins dressed in pretty much like good camouflage attire, which is probably why you never saw them. They come down. You are basically tethered by your neck and both arms, forced into the ground. You see them coming up, knives drawn, and I'd like you to make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, natural 20.
Nice.
So 25.
So 25?
Mhm.
Perfect. Describe to me what you're wearing.
Oh. Oh, okay. We're doing this live. All right.
Not that,
Okay.
you pervert.
Let's see.
Thine pervert.
Well, I am wearing my classics, like interwoven straps of leather that is covering most of my body, but I leave my like forearms and my like biceps and shoulders exposed. But I do have the gauntlets and leather pants, fur boots. Yeah, pretty much her standard.
Okay. Cool.
Nothing
So
special.
all right, cool. So what you see on closer inspection, you're in pretty much fight or flight mode, and well, there's only fight mode for you. So
Mm-hmm.
you're in basically like just honing in, finding details, figuring out weak points and whatnot as soon as you get out of this thing, because you are going to get out of this thing. Let's be honest. Nothing's been able to hold you down. But looking upon one of the assailants, you notice like, yes, this is definitely these are all goblins, but you see one of the cloaks, the ghillie suit cloaks that they had kind of made shift from themselves for themselves, kind of like loosens up just a bit, and you see a burn mark right on their neck, and it looks fairly familiar.
Oh, hey,
Yeah, it's like at that point, but you see that because you're stunned, you can't say anything.
Oh, okay, we're like, oh.
But you still have the cognizance, brain juices to see it and recognize it.
Okay.
That being said, you see the other ones that have their knives drawn. You see one throw their hand out, as in like towards the other two, and speaking Goblinoid. Hold on. She's got the mark. And that's it. Because of that, the other two just stop and turn away. You notice that this the one that has its that threw its hand out, you see like a specialty gauntlet that kind of shows out from the ghillie suit. Almost kind of like representing some sort of like a leader. And that would be that. So, initiative rolls, please.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Okay.
Are they within earshot? Like, would I have heard that too?
Earshot, no.
Okay.
No, you wouldn't have been. So all at this point, from the perspective of all you guys, is basically Spleen hovering over a carcass of a deer that's just been starting to get field dressed, to having lassos pulled onto her and pulled to the ground, and you see three bodies just kind of jump out of nowhere.
Okay.
So it's about that. Okay, so 25 to 20.
Oh, dirty 20.
Natural 20 for 23.
Yeah.
Okay, 20 to 19.
18.
And
20 to 15?
20 to 19. You know what I want. We're going down one by one.
Yep.
But yeah, 20 to 15.
15.
Uh, 15 to 10.
I just got a refund for this drink.
Okay.
Sorry. I had my microphone muted. 19. I'm sorry.
We're back.
I was like, that's everybody. What is he trying to do?
Let me just make a couple of adjustments.
Sorry.
Y'all motherfuckers rolled well.
Yeah, we did.
Uh-huh.
And that was the last time that happened.
They never made it back to Koihara. They never made it. It was beautiful to watch them die. All right. That being the case, Yimmer,
Oh,
you're on. You're up. Spleen, you're on deck.
okay. So, are they? Can I see or no?
Can you see them?
Yeah, like is it too foliage covered between us?
Make a perception check.
Woohoo! That's cocked. Oh. Perception. I perceive a 25.
A 25. Jeez.
I know. Should have been attacked.
Good. Waste them on the perceptions. You. No, you are able to see them. You're basically able to track where they go in, and because they are still like gillisuit covered, they're hard to pin down and track. But now that they've broken the silhouette, you're able to see. Yeah. Once you. Sorry, my mind is going a million places at once right now.
Well,
You've broken the silhouette. You're able to now track them and see them. You're having a really good time just being like, okay, I've designated 3 targets. Let's go.
Okay.
And
Go ahead.
yeah. So by all means, target rich environment.
Woohoo! Love those environments. So Yimmer is going to scamper. And si, senor. Okay, so Yimmer's going to skedaddle over here. And then bonus action hide
Okay.
and shoot a crossbow bolt.
A crossbow bolt.
The closest one.
Okay.
With
Make a. Well, I'd say make a stealth check, but let's be honest, you're gonna probably like naturally roll a 25 or something.
yeah.
Yeah, but roll your stealth because you have to roll it.
You teased me there. 13.
Okay, cool. Easy enough. Roll, double into the bush.
Him, responsible him. Not gonna throw a sliver at them. So yeah, gonna fire a crossbow bolt.
Crossbow bolt. Okay, fire. Oh, you did. Oops.
Wait.
No, you
did?
didn't.
No,
Did you?
that was stealth.
Oh, that was stealth. Okay.
Yeah.
Fire. A well-oiled machine this is.
14.
14? Okay, so
Do I get advantage because I'm hitting?
Oh.
'Cause I'm doing sneak attack and pretty sneaky when I'm hitting.
attacking while hidden does not give you advantage.
Okay.
But I'm trying to figure out whether or not Spleen would technically count as a person within, but because she's stunned and not
I don't
attacking.
think so.
Yeah, if not stunned, not harrying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
incapacitated and all that, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, then that what was it, 14?
Yeah. Is Spleen incapacitated?
At this point, she's
Yeah.
down,
I would
and
say
you're
so.
not too sure what.
Just for mechanics for sneak attack. If
She's
not
stunned. She's not incapacitated. She's stunned.
Mhm.
Which the difference? What is the difference with that?
I think-
Somebody look that up.
it
Knocked
says,
out? Like conscious or unconscious?
if
Yeah, you're conscious.
I
you
think
don't need
paralyze
advantage on the attack
incapacitates.
roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it, that enemy is incapacitated and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll.
You spoke a lot of words at me there, and honestly, some of it
the
didn't stick.
the thing is if Spleen is not incapacitated, then she would count as an enemy of that enemy, also known as my friend.
I think stun prevents you from taking actions or reactions and sets your move speed to 0. And paralyzed makes you incapacitated, but I'm not 100% on that.
Well, I've used the word stun.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, you take your advantage then.
Woo! No, I just don't need advantage to, This is the sneak attack damage if I hit.
Yeah, you do need to sneak attack to get or you need the advantage to enable sneak attack. That's how that works.
No, that's what I was saying. As long as Spleen is not incapacitated, then she satisfies the condition for sneak attack. Since I don't have advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It still doesn't hit.
I love that this all led to that.
All
Good
this.
news. It doesn't. It doesn't.
Sorry, I'm sorry, buddy. But
Oh, no.
dive, dip, dodge, roll into the bush. And because you're breathing out at the wrong time, the crossbow just kind of shifts ever so slightly. And
The goblin bends down to pick up a shiny thing. Ooh.
And just grazes one of the goblins there. That's the case. Spleen.
Ooh. I have my mouth completely wide open over this food. Okay, hold on. Okay.
You still have
So
5 FYI.
Okay.
Can't do anything with that while you're
Spleen.
stunned.
Oh no.
A Spleen looks at the 3 and then just starts bursting out laughing. He's staring at them and is like, ah.
See, stun basically would give you more or less like stuttered speech.
Okay, well, I'm snort laughing.
Yeah.
And that will be my turn, is just laughing.
Yeah. Cool. At that point, B.
B just sees Spleen up in the air and Yimmer booking it and shooting an arrow or a crossbow bolt, and also just takes off booking it, being like, "Put the goblin down!" and just yells. And I'm gonna take a dash action to just run right up, to where the other goblins are.
Cool.
And that's
Cool,
what I'm
that-
gonna do.
That's it. Action, bonus action. Okay.
Oh no,
cool.
she coming.
Oh Lord, she coming.
Nobody hurts my bean.
Yeah.
Right
Give
on.
me
So you
down
get up.
from here.
You're running through the waves of the marshes there, and just singular focus running right up and running through the streams, making sure that you're not landing in any sort of pitfall that will let you drop into the water even further, if there is any here, but you're still moving with a purpose, eventually getting to where Spleen is. She is on the ground, and basically for the sake of that, you kind of jump over the dead deer because she is there. You see the goblins hanging over her, but knives out, but they haven't made a move. And you see one with their hand out, but you haven't figured out what the heck's going on, other than
And Spleen's laughing.
and Spleen is giving a giggle.
Yeah.
Okay, Howard,
Um,
you're up. Halsterion on deck.
can I see Spleen and like next to her? Like open area next to her?
No.
And okay, I'm gonna move over a little bit and step into the water. Not happy about it, but Let's get a little closer. And I'm going to touch you and cast Dimension Door and put us next to B. Right here on the shoreline.
My God, just imagine that. They're like, oh, new goblin. Oh, shit!
Because I'm assuming there's a lot of brush where the trees are and stuff, so
Yeah.
the edge of the water, essentially.
Yeah, you're basically up on just the tiniest bank.
And
The tiniest bank.
that will be my turn.
That'll be your turn?
Yep.
Sweet. Halsterian. So basically, like what I've described before, you get a glimpse of the scene that's going on there, but there's no context. Make perception checks, actually. All three of you.
All right.
Perception.
This dice does not like me.
Oh no. 23.
23? Okay. Howard? Halsterian. God
5.
dang it. What'd you get?
5.
And B.
15.
Bebop Patrops over there.
I was just reeling from suddenly being teleported. Dimension door.
Yeah, you can really get much of a joy. He's just like, we're going.
Come on. What?
It's like the same effect of a speedster dragging somebody and immediately stopping. Just
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't I not be going through portals like this? Whoa!
while you're in between the portals, I'm going to find you.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh my God.
I didn't even think about it until I said the word teleport, and I was like, oh my god, that's a teleport.
Yep.
By the way, that doesn't happen.
Okay, that's good to know. Because
No, that doesn't happen. The teleportation process is pretty much immediate. You're basically, you see the endpoint, and because you're not going a vast distance, it's very much the way, well, portals would work in Portal.
Since you're
Okay,
literally
yeah.
stepping through a doorway.
It's quite literally just an arcane doorway that has the envisioned other side there. Just click, walk right through, and you're all set to go. That being said, Howard Sterian. Howard Sterian Goose.
If you're gonna start calling him hard Sterian, I'm not gonna do it. I'm with the chaos that's going on. Halsterian will hold his action with a darkness spell once the goblins start showing any sign of actual hostility.
Okay.
Centered on, let's say,
Now
spleen.
oh my God, leave me alone.
I'm gonna ask this question: Is this action based off of the meta knowledge that has been spoken beforehand, or is this a decision that Halsterian would make in a moment?
Halsterian has been wanting to try his blind fighting skills, and isn't sure whether to test them right now because Spleen is actively laughing.
Make a deception check. No. Okay. Cool. Just wanted to be sure.
Yeah, I'm not like raging, I'm laughing.
Yeah, you're laughing at this point. All right. Cool. That being the case, it's the goblins' turns. Yimmer.
Mm-hmm.
It's at this moment that you realize that as you were focusing, breathing out, boom, you notice one come right up behind you.
Hello there.
I'd like for you to make a contested strength check, please.
Oh, I am so not good at that. Like, terrible.
Is your friend around? Did you actually make a friend?
That's
I
right,
don't
you did
remember.
get friends.
I do have a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, after reading the terms of service, I'm only allowed to have one friend. That's a 15 for 14 total.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Yeah, that doesn't work. So at this point, you're on the ground and you just hear what? A arm comes around you, kind of pulls you back, and you feel a knife at the side of your throat. You're kind of put into a chokehold at this point, but the assailant hasn't made a further move. It's at this point. The rest of y'all start hearing noise coming in and around, where you see basically a bunch of goblins with crossbows, all lined up in center, as the one that was holding out his hand with the specialized gauntlet flips back his hood and just throws his hand up, which only Spleen and Howard would know in Goblinoid, as in, do not attack. They belong with her. She's with us. It's at this point, every one of the goblins are pointed at the ready. He turns and looks around. I mean it. He drops his hand, and the rest of the goblins lower their crossbows, still at the ready. And Yimmer, the one that had you, releases and kind of pushes you a little bit forward just to give you a little bit of space.
No, thought we did something.
Yeah, both of them. Looks at her. Where did you get that mark? This is all in Goblinoid, by the way.
Mm-hmm. How everybody else got theirs.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. It's straight 17. I don't have a bonus to that in persuasion.
Cool. 1 second. Landlord's going off. I don't know about what, but he's being very loud. Glad it's not getting picked up, but it's still just one of those, like, I'm curious. I want to be nosy. Okay. It's at this point, he just looks down at you, looks at them, call them off. Which at this point, Spleen, you're able to read. Like, the momentary stun wears off.
Jeez.
Call them off. He looks at the other two. Step back. The other two goblins take their step back.
Oh, excuse me. Well, this is awkward. You guys know Common? Because some of the others here, my friends and my team, don't speak it. Don't speak Goblin, I mean, well.
Put her the fuck down. He's just like wielding the axe.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm down.
Yeah, like, Spleen, you're basically able to get up and move as normal. Yeah. As at this point, like, the goblins basically have let go of the ropes. You're not.
Okay, not held, like, yeah.
You're not being held. You have the ropes on, but.
Yeah.
Howard's got a hand hovering over the sword, but not pulling it out.
I'm guessing you were expecting a non-marked goblin?
We were looking for whatever would also hunt the deer that we just killed.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
We heard noise. We hid. We waited to see. We didn't see your mark. All this is in common.
Yeah, well, it happens. But, I've been through this before. It didn't end up well for the other guys. But I learned that there is a bunch of you banding together who have the mark, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it's at this point like the rest of the goblins are now like basically taking off all their camouflage, or at least like taking off cloaks or any sort of bits of armor that would give them some sort of a coverage. And you notice that every one of them has this mark, has the mark of shame. Some have it on the part of the neck where you have it. Others is on the arm. One has it seared right into the middle of the chest.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one looks like he had it a bunch of different times, but it's hard to determine whether or not that because he was hard to pin down and struggled with it, or but. Well, it's good to know that you're alive, sister.
Likewise.
What brings you out this way anyway? What are you doing with them? And looks at the rest of the crew. And he basically throws up a couple hand signals, and you see the other goblins just start shifting off and moving into a formation. At this point, this battle map is no more Kaputski, so
I could leave it.
no need to. Unless you're planning on attacking them, you kind of get the point that they kind of got the.
I've already left.
Yeah. It's like you guys haven't murdered hoboed in a while, so. And to be honest, I didn't think this would actually resolve this quickly.
You never know. I can always go back.
Here's the thing: I rolled a natural 20 on my perception checks.
Oh.
And I rolled an natural 20 on mine.
Which is why.
It's like a Spider-Man meme of like, That's like, what happened? Well, I'm traveling with them. That is our team name, them. The Hunters of Evil and Monsters. These guys are not the enemy. I promise you that.
Now make a persuasion check.
Ooh,
And do it with advantage because you are immediately part of like the trusted group.
Okay, thank you. It is a lot better, but it's still not great. It's 12.
Okay. Interesting name. It's at this point that you get a closer look at this this leader goblin, and he's wearing a lot of like patchwork leathers that have kind of been hard boiled and shaped to like certain parts of his body, and they've kind of been like roughly stitched together. It's not exactly the greatest thing, but you also notice that he's wearing like a very beautifully jeweled like bracer that kind of like shows a little bit of shows like the leadership qualities of that, designating him as a leader. And so you notice that like his face with his nose is like super crooked, as if it's been broken a few times and just healed improperly. Not some like a bit of a rounded jaw, and like when he opens his mouth to speak, but you notice that there's like a bunch of teeth missing, but there's like a piercing yellow eyes and just a very large overhanging brow.
So yeah, we're traveling in this area for kind of some various reasons, but mostly, well, the shit that's going on with the White Hand. I'm telling you straight up.
At that point, you say the White Hand, and he like, there's an immediate recognition and also like hostility.
Judging by that bad grimace on your face, you're not a fan either.
Who do you think did all this to us?
Yeah, and they've done a lot more now, so
Hmm.
I don't know what their fucked agenda is, but they are going beyond the bounds of, well, the plains, apparently. And they just have to be stopped. Maybe also liberate more goblins, I guess.
Yeah, it's at this point that's like, I still don't trust them. It still points to the rest of the group. I trust you a lot better. But if we're going to make any sort of headway on this, my name is Crowlaw.
Well, spleen.
Thank you, sister. These are my groups. This is the Huntsman. We occupied a nearby destroyed city.
Mhm.
I think it would benefit you to meet Fish. She's the matriarch. She's the one who's been leading us in this whole situation. She'll give you better information.
All right. Okay. Well,
Follow me. He basically turns around, throws up a couple extra signs, and the rest of the goblins turn in formation and start walking.
What did you say the name of the group was?
This is the Huntsman.
The Huntsman.
All right.
Okay.
Before I start shifting scene, role play between y'all or questions?
sure.
So, are we cool here, or
Yeah, we're cool. We're cool. We're as cool as we're gonna get.
fair, considering where we are?
He doesn't trust you guys, but I speak for you. I'll vouch. But I think we have a good start. Definitely.
Okay.
You know what they say?
Enemy of your enemy?
Well, they're not my enemy. So
No.
friends.
The White Hand is their enemy. And we are an enemy of the White Hand.
Oh. What? Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
I don't know what they always say. Don't count your eggs before they bounce.
And watch out for your tables, they turn. And
They
the
do.
corner can hit your hip and it will hurt and bruise.
But bruises build character.
Exactly. So
But I
toss
was
that
always-
table.
All right. So, yeah, Yimmer, you do have a friend, so you still have your friend with you, shambling along.
Well, do they know not to, go after my friend here?
I mean, there's an immediate response to be like, because walking corpse is not exactly a pretty sight or smell. But
Yimmer,
won't
just hold their
judge.
hand and bring them along. They'll get the point.
my giant toddler.
Oh, what did I name this one? Did I come up with a name yet?
I don't think you.
I'm
named
a
us.
big corpse now.
Just
That
imagine
makes-
like if Yimmer pulled too hard, he just pulls the hand right off.
I know, I was envisioning it too.
Let's put that back in there.
Cold nub.
So at this point, the goblins are walking a little more nonchalantly now. Now that you were behind them, but you're back onto the main path, and they did collect the deer as well, just for the sake of it. I mean,
Yeah, we
they were hunting, but about 3 hours goes by, and Yimmer, at this point, you start recognizing this area a heck of a lot better.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing all sorts of crazy things over there. And I ate a bunch of bad mushrooms over there. And yeah, those things I saw weren't actually there. Yeah, this was a great time.
Which at this point you start coming up upon a lot of ancient elven ruins that have been basically reclaimed by the local flora. In turn, you start the lot of you start seeing what looks to be like a forest that was pretty much heavily encroached onto what is now the decimated city of Cohiara. You're walking through and you start realizing that, oh, these are buildings now. These are old buildings that have been like the trees have been growing in and through the stone, and moss covers a lot of different stuff. It's been very much abandoned for a very long time. It's at this point you realize that you head through an archway which leads into what would be the main city if it were a bustling city.
Can Yimmer remember where, like, this is where the excavation and such was, correct?
Correct.
Can Yimmer recall where the focus of excavation was?
A lot of the excavation was out in the Platinum Ward, so it was that was basically like a military district, but it also held a lot of temples, sanctums, and a lot of different places of like higher magics, suspected higher magics. So that was a good place to try and figure out if there was going to be anything of worth or value in there. But that's deep within the city. And so a lot of this architecture shows a lot of a very old elven style, very adjacent to what Onver was, but to much of a greater degree. It was very much like it was a very specific spot set for this place to be built and then built upon. The history of this place is also one that marks the farthest reach of what was the old Cohiaran Empire. Of the old elven empire of old.
Old.
Yes. Shush. It's hard doing these descriptions. But since it's been sacked and destroyed, it's never been reconquered or attempted to be resettled.
Mhm.
So at this point, it's been left to be picked and prodded at through scavengers and whatnot. But a lot of the trellises and the passageways show a lot of very well designed and intricate alleyways that lead into main thoroughfares that had shops or houses that were consistently led and designed. This place would have been beautiful to have been seen back in its heyday. But now it's just almost a sad sight to see, knowing what was here and how it had ended. That being the case, the goblins are now way more relaxed, and you start seeing white smoke off in the distance, a bunch of different speckles of white smoke, indicating that there's been that there is a presence here. It's at this point, Krolaw looks up, does like a couple sharp whistles, and you see what are sentries of goblin archers kind of manning a couple of the main thoroughfares. Look down, give a slight salute, and still have their bows at the ready, but they're not like in. They don't look like to be in immediate firing position.
Yimmer goes to salute them, but ends up taking the hand again.
Oh man. Oh boy, how many are here?
Fatal water.
Yep. That was not fun. No, but so were you Given, were you asking, or were you just role playing that?
Role play and asking. Asking Krona.
Crowlaw.
Crola. Whoops. Let me change that. Hold on. Let me edit that. Crola. Okay.
Rola.
Yep. But you say that out loud, and he's like, "Sister, there's a whole community here. All of us are. All of us are marked."
How long has this been here?
We found this place abandoned not too long ago, and since the White Hand left the area, we took this place over. It's our home for now.
Damn. Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't have others around when this first happened to me. It's just seeing Gelbin and then his band of rejects, and which is no disrespect, we are rejects technically, and then this place thriving. I'm kind of envious, honestly. Jeez.
How long have you had that mark? He comes up and he kind of like does a little clasp on your shoulder, just like a more or less like a mentorly, fatherly figure, sort of. How long have you had the mark?
Years and years and years.
I've
Got
only
it
had
when I
mine.
was a kid.
I've only had mine for a few years now.
This is kind of all I've known, really. I grew up, shitty situation. Revolted. Got this. Then kicked to the curb. So. But knowing that it's just, this is good. This is good. I don't even know where I would have been if I didn't band up with these guys. These guys are kind of like, well, this that you guys have. We just want to, like, like all of us, with the mark. It's like it's not a mark of shame for us, really. It's freedom. But at what cost? Because all you know is what they raise you to know, and when you're kicked to the curb, it's getting knocked in the head with reality. That even that your own kind and others view you as less. And so you're left alone to figure out who you are. So knowing that you've made this tribe is good. Because you all can help each other grow and find their own strength. So you may not like these guys, but they are my community. They will see you as equals. They won't look down on you. They won't treat you as less. They know that you guys probably kick ass, but also they kick ass.
He's gonna put a hand around Spleen.
Oh, God, ew, don't touch me.
At this point, you this has been a walk and talk this whole time, basically. And by this point, Yimmer, you recognize the area that you're in. This is basically where you guys had encamped when you're hanging out with Diamondback and the rest of Sabrak's crew, mixed in with a bit of the researchers from the academy. This is known as the White Church section, where it's a lot of like crossroads that meet into a singular center junction that has like a large well in the center, designating what would be the center part of the city, or of the walled section of the cities. And you see at this point a lot of different goblin tents and everything just like set up, but you also see like a bunch of different goblins that are occupying the surrounding buildings that are there. There's fires lit. There's also a deer that's being roasted on a spit at this point, just kind of being rotated back and forth by a couple of goblins. It's a lot of makeshift stuff, and it looks very rudimentary, almost archaic in its right, but you're seeing also children running around, just screaming, having fun, chasing each other, and some of the goblin passerbyers are kind of looking at you guys, like looking at the tall ones, and
the dead one.
Yeah, the tall ones, and almost like you just like you're hearing chitterings. The chitterings, and because you're coming in with a huntsman, they're not immediately getting super defensive. It's at this point you also notice that there are also sentries and guards that have been taken up on the higher positions. Also, there's a watchtower position that's being held by one person. At this point, they look down. And Krolov looks up, gives a salute, and you just hear just this deep bellowing horn which designates that they've arrived and that they're home.
Have we seen anyone other than goblins? Or are they
It's-
all goblins?
They're all goblins. Every single person that you see here are goblins. Also, every single person, including the children, have a mark.
I was about to say, I was just about to ask that. Do the kids have marks?
Including the children.
Yeah, Spleen's gonna have a lingering look at that.
Yeah, it's like, welcome home, sister. Right. Food. If you are guests here, I still don't trust either of you, but you are guests here, and you're brought in under my tutelage, under my protection. Please don't start anything.
Yep.
Well
And
behaved.
I turn to the group like, that says something from me. Don't start anything.
Well, I know you'll end it, don't worry.
And for once, I would hate to be the one to end it.
That being said, welcome home. We are the rats.
Rats.
The rats, you said.
Yeah.
Did that before?
Like, with Gelbin.
You say the name, but it doesn't make a mark of recognition. No. They always just said that people with this mark, that they were rats. So that's what we decided to call ourselves.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a coincidence.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That being said, food. Are you hungry? Gallo, Goblin, Cinna. Grab something for them to drink. Give them something to eat. These are our guests. I am going to go get Sfish. She's the matriarch. I think she'd be really interested to at least meet you, and points to you. Sister, you are welcome here. Feel free to relax.
Yeah. Oh, guys. Like right when he walks away, she's like, "Oh my god! Oh my god, where was this? Oh,
Not
He
sure.
is incredible.
Yeah. And it's like a lot of the people around you are still kind of like looking from a long distance, but a lot of Krolaw's men have now just been like, okay, we'll treat you with hospitality. You're getting a lot of food. And at this point, you get a lot of like fancy elven porcelain that has been beautifully etched and marked with a lot of like deer steak in it and a little bit of like green roughage that has kind of been found. It's not exactly pretty. It's almost like a very weird mix of like, what the hell?
yeah.
But
I love what the hell.
but it's at this point you see like one of the kids that are running and screaming. They're not looking where they're going. They bump right into you. Halsteria just bump. Yeah. Kind of just look up and almost look afraid.
Pardon me. Step out of the way.
And he just just kind of keeps on running.
He called you a blueberry-looking man.
You know what? I'll take it. If I'm going to be known by these folks as Blueberry Man, that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you'll just be known by these folks as Blueberry Man. I think that's a new nickname.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
No.
also drinks start
Really?
coming out, and it's like you're all getting it in just various different cups or chalices or any sort of like whatever container that can be found or held, and you get this like very thick and dark liquid. It's almost bubbling, but it's hard to determine what it is. It smells not that good.
I mean, I'll wait to see what
Yeah,
Spleen does, but I'll drink it if she drinks it.
but
Yeah! I remember this.
yeah, and this is very much like a childhood drink of yours. Where it's a classic goblin drink, whereas like the idea is it's like you take a bunch of tree sap and a lot of like the pine needles and you boil them down to there's absolutely nothing. You strain it and then you still condense it down further. You add a little bit of root extract into it to really give it this earthy taste. Yeah, give it this earthy taste.
Then you just put a little bit of cinnamon on top. Oh
Yeah.
gosh. Bottoms up.
You drink it, it's just as you remember. It's thick, it's tarry, it is sticking to your teeth, but it reminds you of your old home.
One time someone died from drinking this because it was too thick. You can't, if you don't make it right, it could be too thick. And then he choked to death. He couldn't breathe.
This is hemlock sap.
Listen, the goblin that made it that time, it was the first time. You don't, you learn that from the elders. They know the mixture because you can make it too thick.
Yes. In some circles, it is used to kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But then so is alcohol, and he takes a big drink.
Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Will do. Oh, natural 20.
Nice.
All right, you basically chug this down, and the warmth and the stickiness of this coats your throat, and it is not a pleasant taste, and it's not a very pleasant experience. You're almost trying to just not immediately barf it back up, but at a moment, it's like it's just not sitting right, and then after a second, you just feel, whoa. Just this kind of you feel relaxed. You just a lot of like a natural tension release just hits you. And at that point you don't taste it anymore. It just kind of it sits right.
Yep. Yeah.
I think my hair is sticky, but it's on purpose.
You like it?
I think I do.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. You try a sip of yours, B?
I'll chug it.
You'll
Straight
chug it?
chug.
Yeah, I had a girl.
Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. I
I
get
was
advantage
just
on
gonna drink
poison.
a
Is
little
it a
water.
poison?
It's a
Okay,
poison.
It's not considered a poison.
26.
Although
Oh,
some
26.
chuckles. 26. Same thing as Halsterian. It is the exact same experience.
Oh.
Give
Okay.
it a sec.
What
Yeah.
is going on?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
does
yeah.
everything suddenly feel like I'm Jello?
Yeah. It's great.
There is a
It's
melting sensation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your mushrooms do this?
Well,
Well,
based on
one way to
you're-
find out, Yimmer, drink it.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh,
You said this wasn't a poison?
No.
no.
Huh, that's a 4.
no.
Oh yes. You open the hatch down the gullet. At that moment, you breathe in as you do, and you start coughing and coughing and coughing. It doesn't even go down your throat at this point. Like, it makes it halfway down your throat before you start coughing and heaving from just the wretchedness of it. It is not, again, it is not a good taste.
Oh,
It is,
Oh, and that's how that one guy died.
yeah.
Yeah,
And you
keep-
start going, I need you to roll a d6 for me, please.
Oh, no. Goodbye, everybody.
Or constipated.
He did
or-
say that you're gonna go first.
Oh no. 1?
Okay. So at this point, you're coughing and hacking and going all doing all this. At this point, you see Krolaw start coming up, and he's adorned with a couple of different wearing like different guards than what he had come through with the huntsman. They look to be in more like efficient armors. And Spleen, you recognize it to be like these the armors to be like the people who were more integrated with the White Hand and the Hobgoblins. Like, it's, yeah. So it's with that. Krolaw comes up, puts his hand up. I know what you're thinking. We stole it off them.
Okay. Fair enough.
And those goblins are also bearing the mark.
Okay.
That's the critical piece of information I should have led with there, but
Don't serve them right.
yeah, you just hear one of them. Yeah, we killed them.
I'm helping Yimmer by just like,
They didn't see it coming. It was the best.
here we go, get it out, buddy.
Yeah. As at that point, a minute passes, and Yimmer, you stop heaving.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
maybe you need to be called the Blueberry Man.
Oh, you'll pass. To answer your question, yes, I do have mushrooms that do this. Whew.
You don't
Little-
seem so.
Krolaw just looks. Oh, so you tried the slug snatcher. Got it.
Yeah, it tried me too. And it won. Oh,
You know, you like you. I didn't think you guys would even ever try it.
Well, these two already downed it, and they're where I'm at. Feeling great.
I will try anything once, and I am glad I tried this one.
And we trust Spleen about it.
I've put worse things in my body, so it's all good.
Good luck in the rest of that out of your system. All right. Svish wants to see you all. Follow me.
Follow.
So you guys follow. So you lead away from the central junction point down what is now like a more well manicured thoroughfare. And Yimmer, again, you've been here, so you know the layout of at least this central area quite well. And especially paths that lead out into the eastern side of Cohiara. So you've been through the Platinum Ward and the East Parad. So this whole section is just you're reliving your memories at camp.
Including the upset stomach.
Including many upset stomachs. But you're getting led into the Platinum Ward, and you see one of the main being led into one of the main churches. It looks to be like there's a series of tents led in series of tents that are kind of not surrounding, but out in front of a major church. And you're trying to figure out what it is, but you you don't know what it is because a lot of the markings have either been scratched off or removed or have been just destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But you walk in and you see a lot of like animal bones that are hanging from wires. You see a lot of like Dreamcatcher-esque sort of things, a lot of what looks to be more recent goblin arts that have been painted in substances and on tapestries, over tapestries that have been left here throughout the centuries. You see what looks to be like a central cauldron just right in the center of this whole worship area. A bunch of statues that are lining the various different shapes of elven forms, but you all don't really understand where this what this is. Actually, Howard Halsterian, give me a history check, please.
Hmm. 18?
All right, waiting on you, Howard. 10?
Mhm.
Okay. Glimpsing over them without any sort of deeper knowledge or understanding, they all just look like statues. It's at this point you notice like a very old and like hobbled goblin, like walking with a cane. She looks extremely withered and extremely frail. But you look up and you see like one of her eyes has been covered over by a patch of skin. Yeah, it's been covered over with a patch of skin, a couple of scar marks that are leading over, but she has like this shawl that's draping over her form, giving more leading more credence into the mystery of it. Uh, she looks, and with her one eye, you see what almost looks like a cataract eye, just like milky white, look at you, and immediately clocks you, Spleen. You just, she looks.
Around.
Krola has been asking about what we should do with all of you guys. Come here, come here, come here.
She like beckons you closer, Spleen.
Oh, hey there.
I need to see you. Come closer.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as you get close enough, she basically snatches your wrist.
Whoa.
Like snatches your wrist in like with a very deft and like old lady strength where they're like deceptively strong. Just like puts it up and just smells your hand. Just smells your hand. And at this point, you kind of see her eye just kind of like wander off. And she's like, she's thinking, you're unsure what the hell is going on. And she's like, okay. And lets go and just kind of like starts touching your face. Just touching your face, feeling it out, and kind of like gently goes around the neck, feels the bump, and goes,
there it is. Okay, I see you. I see you. Welcome home, daughters.
And she just kind of like cusps your. She like cusps your jaw and brings it in.
You're home. You are safe with us. Ah. Ah. So, what are you doing here? What brought you home?
Oh, well, wow, I didn't know you were even here.
Um, the gods that guide us find a way to bring you to the place that you need.
And
Oh.
like at this point, she still has your head, basically your jaw cupped like this.
Well, we're kind of, we were trying to pass through because, we're here to hunt down information about the White Hand so we can kick their ass.
Yeah. As soon as you say the white hand, she kind of like lets go for a second, like let's go, and she kind of like has the cane in her hands, picks the cane back up.
What do you need to know about the White Hand?
And just like what turns it from a happy expression turns into a furrowed brow.
Well, where they are. I mean, has there been a lot of activity up over here? They've been meddling in a lot of things, and a lot of people are dying. Not just goblins.
They have all but abandoned this area. The western provinces are all but abandoned, if not, few dregs kicking around. We saw our opportunity to try and collect as many people as we could.
I see. Well,
So-
there's been a lot of magic that they are tampering with. Do you know of anything about that? Or others that are here that's witnessed? I don't know what it would be called, but just magic. Planes, portals, elementals. Cults, really.
We focused on getting our people out. What they were doing, they kept us in the dark. You know how they are.
Yeah. Well,
But why here for the White Hand? Why here for them? If that's the case, why not go back to where you came from? Why are you not there?
I'll look at the group.
If I may, provided this is happening in common.
It starts in Goblinoid, but then quickly turns to common when Spleen starts speaking to her in common.
Yep.
If I may, part of it is that we've heard tell that part of the power they're harnessing comes from the Eastern Pillar, and there was a Well, an angry gray-skinned man who seemed to be making his way that way. He seems to be related in a not an enemy, but not necessarily an ally sort of way.
It's at this point. She looks at, like, as much as she may seem blind, she has a very good track of where you are.
Come closer. Come closer.
And I do.
Yeah, you do. She grabs your hand.
Oh, you are a big one. You talk about the gray man. That's what a lot of people describe the man who's living in one of the basements here.
That's fascinating.
He was here when we all moved in. He didn't outright attack us, and I think we may have annoyed him into seclusion.
That sounds familiar.
Yep.
We've met him. Well, some of us have.
We keep an eye on him. He's in one of them sanctums or whatever the hell people want to call it.
Well, he is possibly a huge and strong ally.
Could be, potentially.
Potentially. But I don't think he'll be an enemy.
Well, he hasn't made himself an enemy right now.
That's good. That's good, because from what I heard from Humor over here, he completely decimated. Oh, excuse me. That drink. Completely killed that dragon by himself.
A couple of Krolaz men was a part of that group before they were brandished with the mark. They saw that dragon go down. It was apparently something very scary.
Yeah. Scary, awesome. But also, yeah, it's scary. Okay.
So,
you know how you said the gods lead you to places, they have their ways? I think they let me and let us here for a reason. And she's gonna grab the hand of the old lady.
Yeah.
Not just for seeing and finding that guy, but I think seeing this. Mother, thank you for taking care of them.
Of course, it's what I do. It's what we all do. We have to take care of each other.
As at this point, she's again caressing your cheek.
My lord, you are bony.
It starts feeling the piercings, and it's like, oh, you've marked yourself thoroughly.
Yeah.
You must make your enemies scared of you, haven't you?
Absolutely.
That's my girl.
It's at this point, without even noticing, she pulls out something, she conceals it in her hand, and she palms it basically straight to you.
Yeah. That's for good luck.
I look at it.
It's a bone. It's a very, very tiny bone that has been polished. Polished pretty much white, but also has a couple of markings etched into it. It's not writing of any sort of legibility, but it's more or less it's like a shamanic ward.
Oh. Thank you, I'll treasure it.
Good. That's what I want to hear. So you want to go meet the grumpy man or not?
Oh, I do. We do. But I do need to ask you. Do you are you visited by any spirits?
Yeah. I talk to the animals. They're all around me.
Me too.
Ah. So you have the gift. Ah. Even better.
Wow.
You're truly not alone. You seem like you've been lost for a while.
I'm not super recently. But yeah. I think I'm not lost anymore. That's huh. I- Right. When I got this mark and was really alone, that's when I started having the visions and dreams. And been bestowed uh, their gifts.
But do you listen?
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
They have a lot of interesting things to say. I wish some of them would shut up, but that's okay. At the
Mhm.
moment they go away, and the moment I feel really alone.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hmm. You're welcome. Now, follow me. I would like for you. I would like for you to mark into your inventory. Svicious. Svicious.
Sweet.
Svicious shamanic ward.
Shamanic ward. Okay. Shamanic. How would I spell her name? I'm gonna put like SH fish.
SPISH.
I put it
Oh.
into the chat
Yep.
Let me put
because I knew it was going to be asked.
Oh, yep. Okay. It's not like S fish.
Svish.
This.
Make ward. Okay. And then and engrave bone.
Okay, so you start getting led throughout the platinum ward, and it's pretty much a direct. It's pretty much a direct shot to another sanctum, as that is basically unoccupied. It looks derelict and abandoned. Yimmer, you've passed through, but never been into this building specifically. But you head through a large series of archways that used to have doors on them, but they have since either been rotted or torn off. Leading into what looks to be like a giant rotunda, and a couple of stairwells that rotate down, and it's all in very it's very symmetrical. It's very purposely done symmetry, where everything in this room matches the other side and reverses it perfectly. but also hits a different theme of a duality where it is also both light and dark at the same time. It is very, very interesting. But there's no designated marks anywhere to show what this was made for. So leading through, she starts saying, "We tried to occupy this room once, but we felt very at unease here. It was like we were not wanted whatsoever. And this is before Grumpy came and chose this place as his home.
Yeah.
We come and check in on him every once in a while, bring him food, but he doesn't eat and doesn't really remark any of our people. So, no harm, no foul. That being said, good luck getting him to talk to you."
And so she brings you down the set of spiraling stairs, and at this point, you're in a giant, basically cylinder stairwell that helixes down further and further. And if it seems like at certain points of the day there are a lot of mirrors on the walls that would reflect the light that would create this chamber, but at this point of day you were not anywhere near to get this sort of light. So it's at this point she's walking down, she hits her cane, and you see light start spreading, and it's almost in the form of fireflies.
Oh.
Give me
Someone's here.
give me a second.
We ring the doorbell at his like temple. Ding 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 ding. Oh, he's not gonna talk to us? We'll annoy the hell out of him until he talks to us, just like the first time we met him.
That was kind of how that went, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, really, Spleen, I think you had the best rapport with him, right? Perhaps you should be the one to first go down?
You're on the best rapport. Well, sure.
So it turns out my landlord's parents were here, and apparently somebody had walked in, or not walked in. Sorry, fucking Christ. I'm tired. It's been a very, very long day for me. I've been up since 4, just referencing for everybody here. But somebody parked behind their car, and they can't get out, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So regardless, she hits the cane down. You see a bunch of light. A bunch of light comes out, and it's all formed in fireflies, and it's absolutely beautiful just seeing these tiny little motes of light just kind of dancing and floating around. Halsterian, you're getting a weird feeling of familiarity. Ever since entering this sanctum, you have felt this.
Ooh.
Leading down into the bottom of this stairwell is just a pitch black room, a singular room. Yeah, at this point the fireflies just kind of flutter in and create a bunch of light in around the room. It's a very just like, it's again following the same pattern of like split down the center. There's a lot of perfect symmetry, but also like the yin and yang, basically, where there's like the opposites are the same, but they're also reversed, but they're not. It's it's really weird for you guys because this is the first you've ever seen of this sort of a church or a temple or a sanctum. Like this is or some place of worship. Halsterian, you are now in this feeling of very good familiarity. It's yeah, you feel oddly at home.
Okay.
And it's at this point you walk a little bit further and you notice a person, charred skin, scars all over, just sitting in the center of the room. Eyes are closed. As the fireflies are lighting up and around, he opens his eyes and acknowledges the presence of you all, but he's not making a move.
Looks like you finally stopped moving and walking in one direction.
He's just sitting there, staring. Halsterian, you are feeling drawn to where he is sitting.
Is there a reason you are sitting where you are, perhaps meditating? If I may be so bold as to ask.
He looks up and acknowledges you. We have met before, haven't we?
Indeed, around a year ago, when you just about escaped the chains.
Mm-hmm.
Which at that point, you still see like the clasps on his wrists and a little bit of dangling chains on them. Just like one or two links.
I ask in part because we have learned of and indeed found Petrina. He just makes eye contact and lets the name just echo in the chamber for a bit.
Petrina.
It basically does. Like it is quite literally an echo chamber in here. But as the lights are dancing around, you see basically like this. Again, it's basically an underground rotunda where it is circular, and you start seeing murals on the wall, and you see basically figures with a lot of strings of light, or other figures with strings of darkness leading out of the center of their chest, and leading into a center point, which is right above where he is sitting. As you say Petrina's name, it bounces back and forth. He doesn't make a perception or insight check. Actually, insight check, please.
Okay. 15.
15?
Mm.
You don't see him make a connection to that name. He is a very hard man to read, as is.
Mm-hmm.
She is one who recognizes you, knows who you may have been. And I'd look over to Howard like, hey, can you minor image?
Or major image.
Image.
Microsoft Photoshop.
Yeah. Slide, clicks, next thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Microsoft Paint, Adobe
Laser
Photoshop.
pointer. And then right here, we have...
Exactly. But You major image, Patrina. You, as that does, you see his eyes just what was once just an intense stare turns into like an immediate recognition. Just he stands up and walks over to the what variant of image is this?
You're muted.
Nuh-uh. Just
Mhm.
life size.
Minor,
her.
major.
Oh, major. Sorry.
That's what I was asking. Major. He walks towards. I recognize her. I don't remember her. And it's at this point he like his hand comes up and just follows the silhouette of the body. It goes through the first time and then he brings his hand above the face and around the hair, almost as if he was brushing it out of just pure instinct. He looks to you. Why am I acting this way?
Do you know the name Arcalis?
I do not know these names.
She says it is yours.
A lot
You
of
were-
people have given me names.
She also says you were married. King and queen, in fact. There is another name you may know that we have learned on our way to find you. One that, I must warn you, if you recognize, will instill anger. The name is Crom.
Oh.
We too desire an end to Crom.
I'd like for all of you to make insight checks.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, B, we twin it on this one.
Oh, sorry.
0? Dang. Spleen.
Dirty 20.
Yammer.
It was insight, you said?
Insight, yes.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. Oh. Howard.
5.
B.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
But I don't get any bonuses, so it's just 20.
A lot of his reactions are not based off of logic or any sort of like you're not getting the sense that a lot of the stuff that he's feeling at this moment is not logical, is very much instinct. It's just pure raw muscle memory or some variant of that where you get the feeling that he doesn't remember. But
You still feel something towards it, though.
he's the gut instinct is still raw. It is still pure.
Yeah.
And like now that you're back into his presence, you see like just the pure amount of scars on this person's face and just charred gray skin that has failed to heal over the years. It's a very gruesome sight to see. long, pointed ears, and just his body is a ravished work of, well, you're not exactly sure. Is it torture? You don't know. Was it an experiment? Or did he subject this stuff to himself? But at this point, when you say Crom, like the whole demeanor went from a reserved nonchalance to I'm ready to attack you. Very much like a tiger ready to pounce. It's just, but again, it's a posture. You don't know. Why are you here? Why?
We think we need your help to find this Crom. To defeat him once and for all. Make him pay for all he's done, apparently to you, even removing your memory, I'm guessing. Would you... This Petrina woman says that you, she, and, shoot, was it her brother or her brother-in-law? Brother, and her brother came from a place called the Dreadplane Skogagard.
Again, another recognizing the word, but also the confusion of why do I know this?
Mm-hmm.
We do not wish to torture you with this information. We hope instead that it may, at one point, bring release and perhaps help us on our way to defeat this Crom person. You owe us no favors, and I understand that. But if you would like to, we may be able to bring Petrina here if you would wish to speak with her. I'm sure she would be very excited to meet you or see you again.
Make a persuasion check. You're going to have to roll really well.
Yeah, I figured.
And I mean, you can do it with advantage because everybody is in this conversation.
Don't need it. I got a 20.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh.
Counteract that 0. What the fuck?
Yeah. +4 for a total of 24.
I mean, a natural 20 is a natural 20. I roll it as like... See, I set the DC at 25. So you literally rolled the one number you needed.
Damn, son.
I told you needed to roll well.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
He looks at you, and at this point, he's still been looking at this image of Petrina. Just absolute fascination, and also a recognizing a longing, but also not understanding why. At this point, he shifts his whole body to you. You will bring her to me.
Very well. And I start writing in my book to say, Grandfather, bring her as soon as you can. We have found him. We have found Arcalis.
It's at couple minutes later you get the mental writing back.
On my way.
A couple
Wonderful.
seconds later, your book flies open, and you see your grandfather jump out with Petrina in tow. It's just boom, and you see her now, and she's still wearing like your mother's dress, but has adorned it with a few other things just to kind of make it her own. At this point, it's like again a beautiful velvet dress. Words that beautifully hugs the shape of her body, and she looks and sees Arcalis. And she's just, you are alive. You are here. She steps to move closer to him. He naturally just steps back. She moves one step forward again. He moves one step back. His eyes staring daggers into her.
His memories have been taken from him. We know not by whom.
Is her more than likely Crom.
Indeed. But he needs to play it safe. He wants to know more. If you can, please provide that to him before he will, let's say, open up.
My dear. Is she... It's all right. I'm here. Trust in me. It's me. At this point, he looks, and he's still very, very mistrusting. It just looks like he's not in a moment to believe anything that's right in front of him. Although the immediate reaction is still very much like there's something there, but what?
Mm-hmm.
He just stares. And it's this long, tense moment. Why do I recognize you? And she says, he's done so much to you. He's done so much. I am sorry. I couldn't get to you sooner. I'm sorry I couldn't find you sooner. She steps forward again, but he doesn't step back. Arcalis, come to me. It's all right. It's me. Again, still just... She takes a step forward. He doesn't take a step back. She's getting closer and closer. I would like for you guys to make an insight check.
Mm-hmm.
Another insight check.
Okay.
All right, Beatrice.
16.
Howard. Halsterian.
13.
Spleen.
18.
Yimmer.
10.
She steps closer, and you just group success at this point. You guys did beat the DC on this one, but you step closer and you notice that like there's just an instinctual like pulse of anger and like just a quick fist clench, and then it's like he lets it go. She steps one step closer again. Do not get any closer.
Yes, don't push it quite yet.
And at this point, Petrina, I'm so close. I'm so close. She steps forward once again. At this point, he lunges right at, lands his hand right on the throat, lifts her up. Why do I feel anger towards you? Why? He lets her go. He steps back.
Spleen's gonna rush forward, but stops at like where Petrina is. Don't go further towards him. Enough!
He's dead eye locked on her, and Petrina is just like just the immediate like clenching her throat. You look up and you see the mark where he left right on her throat. And she's just again like breathing deeply, trying to regain her breath again. Just I'm sorry. I'm sorry I betrayed you. It's at this point he looks on. You betrayed me. But I don't know you. But I recognize you. I don't know what's going on! And he screams and it echoes into the chamber, just bouncing. Come on! Just it hits the floor and you see the floor just crack.
I'm gonna like move Petrina to a little bit of a safer distance.
I was drawn to this place. And I don't know why. Why here? Why are you here? Why the fuck am I here?
I don't know! That's what we're trying to find out! Calm down! Yelling and throwing and choking out somebody's not gonna fix it. I would know. We are not your enemy. Okay? Let's just put that down. We are not against you. Found you twice. You're here because someone did something. And that someone is this Rom. He's also doing shit in our world. Our world. And we care. We want to figure it out. So, you have ties somehow to this. We don't know. You don't know. Not our fault. But do you want help solving it? Or what? Are you going to sit in the dark and sulk? That doesn't solve shit. Are we good? Can we talk? Probably Petrina, please. Right now, he's not the man that you know. He doesn't even know who he is. She's like looking at Petrina, like being like a stern big sister right now.
You still locked eyes with Petrina.
I don't care.
Also, make
As
a
long as you're
persuasion.
listening, that's what matters.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. I don't have a bonus, but it's 16. I don't have a lot of that.
He just stares. That momentary burst of anger seems to have subsided.
Lean's got flickering of not going into a rage, but close to it.
I will say, if I could interject quickly, that Helsterian would take this opportunity to move into the space where he was standing or sitting when we came in, just to see if anything changes.
Just kind of waddling to the side. Yeah.
I'm being down here too.
Oh.
Halsterian, you feel a connection. Like this is a very singular point. And all you hear is, I brought him here. And it's a voice that you recognize.
String of fate, mommy.
I was going to ask, in fact.
This is so cool.
Through your frustrations, sir, have you met... Are you fate touched? Have you met the Fate Weaver? In person?
Sorry.
He doesn't acknowledge. He doesn't acknowledge. He's still very much like eyes pierced onto Petrina. At this point, Lord Baltris is standing back and just watching everything with the rest of you guys. Well, with the rest of Team Them. Petrina and Spleen are up front, and Petrina has now been able to gain her breath again and just has this look of sadness on her.
What's Lord Baltris? What's his like reaction to Arcalis? Because I know he had a very like distinct reaction to Petrina. What's his reaction to Arcalis? Does he come off as angry? Does he come off as uncomfortable? Like, how is he doing in this moment?
Make an insight check.
He's just chilling.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to know, considering we did show him a picture, technically.
9.
9. A lot of it seems neutral. It doesn't seem to be a lot of the same reaction. The picture. What picture?
We
Oh,
used
I
major
guess
image
major
to
image.
show him
Oh,
and
what?
Katrina Roneth before going to search for him.
Oh, that. No. No. There's no recognizing.
Okay.
There's no recognizing in his eyes. You just. Again, it's hard to read, but I mean, But he doesn't acknowledge. Back to the actual point.
Sorry.
Hey, there's a lot of things going on here. I want to try and make sure everybody's got at least some important point to say, or at least if they feel like that's the case. Matt, I'm here for the funny bits.
Me?
Yeah, but he's still locked eyes with Petrina. He doesn't acknowledge you or your statement whatsoever. It's just in the back of your head, all you hear is, I brought him here. I needed you all to be here at this moment.
So we were all brought here in a way. Some by the short hairs, some not. It is important, though, that from here we can share knowledge and move forward. Fate has brought us here to do at least that.
He steps forward, closer to you guys. I mean, the way I see this whole thing set up is basically he's moved off. Halsterian, you're in the center, and you're basically bisected by Spleen and Petrina. He moves closer to you, Spleen and Petrina. One step at a time.
I get a little
Just-
more protective.
Just 1, 2. At this point, his eyes change. They're very much just like straightforward. 1. He's about 5 paces away. He gets to Petrina.
I'm like my hands on my sword. But
And he walks past.
I'm just watching him.
And he's walking to you, Halsterian.
Mm.
I'm ready to bubble Hal.
I'll move out
10
of the way and
paces.
offer him the seat he had.
Three. I heard her voices. You will teach me how to hear them. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Yo! Yo!
I'd like to thank everybody for sticking it out tonight. Thank you to D&D Beyond for sponsoring our show tonight. FX may vary for also sponsoring as well. Please join us on our Mondays games every other Monday with Melody of the Maelstrom. Strum. Oh my god. And
That was awesome. Yo. Yo.
I'm sorry. I'm living off that hype. Somebody please take it away. I can't. I just need to live the moment.
D&D Beyond, Melody of the Maelstrom, and
Melody
Yep.
the Maelstrom is every other week on Mondays, run by Charminar, who is one of FX Mayberry.
Very.
She and one of the other band members are a part of Melody the Maelstrom. And although not everyone in Melody plays a bard, they are all bards in real life. They also did our outro song. As we said at the beginning of the stream, Tuesday has changed game into it starts with an A. What was the name again, Burp?
Abomination Alley.
That's the one. Thank you.
Mhm.
And they run every Tuesday. You can find us here on Wednesday and
Yes.
in Discord whenever you want, really. And we're gonna find someone to raid, so stick around.
Reading. In the middle of the raiding.
And
Our house. In the middle of our house.
We got dummies and dice rolls.
that works for me.
Let's go.
Anything
Yeah,
else
let's go for it.
them?
So thank you all for I'm sorry, I had to do my outro. I've been up since
Intro,
4.
you're out.
I'm tired. I'm out. My outro is
You need
outed.
to
That's
intro
what it
your
is.
outro.
I need to there's so many things. I just don't. I'm tired. Leave me alone.
I can't
being
wait
said-
to adopt Arcalis.
That being said, thank you all. I love you all. I will see you all next week. And do you dare to imagine? Have a good night.